Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me. I think hopefully some of you guys remember that back in June of this year I had traded my Fiesta in for this beautiful VW Touran, and hopefully most of you checked out the build progress over on either Facebook or Instagram, and I'll put the link down below for that if you want to go check out the actual build. Didn't do a video from that just because it's a very long, laborious process for me. I enjoyed every minute of it, but my way of building is very chaotic, so it just felt like it was going to be more hassle than it's worth. But today I'm going to give you a full walkthrough, show you what I did, show you my little things that I've done to make this easier. So several things I took into consideration upon buying a van. One, I wanted to stick with the automatic. I wanted the tinted windows. It needed to have cruise control. It needed to have air conditioning for the dogs, and it had to have under a certain mileage and be within a certain budget, and that was really hard to find. This car fell into absolutely every single category I wanted. It has less than 50,000 miles on it. It's a 2012. So yeah, let's get into the build as I go over it. Things I took into consideration with this build is I wanted no faff, like compared with the Fiesta. I wanted to literally be able to step back from the front seat, the driver's seat, get into the back, and basically go to sleep. You know, not have to worry about putting the bed up, bed down, not have to move things around too much to be able to sleep. Now I do have a little bit of a barrier there to keep Cody off the bed, but in general, those were my major considerations when it came to doing this build. So let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so the front part of this car is all stock. You know, it's not really changed much on my driver's side. But one thing I did notice about this car is the amount of storage that's already inbuilt into it. Under the seats, in pockets, there's so much storage. And in the build, I did take all the seats out. I did keep the front passenger seat just because I want to still be able to use this to transport people. That was a question I got about the Fiesta build, but it's because I was still using it as an everyday runaround. I wasn't living in it, and if I was living in it, that might be a slightly different ball game. So starting with the driver's side, which I think I did with the Fiesta, we got a small pocket, which I think all vehicles have. So I just sort of got the poop bags, the ball, spare hairbrush, dog leashes, everything that I need when we generally get out, go somewhere. But moving over here into the footwell, this chair is very cool because we have a drawer here, which doesn't actually have anything in it right now, and the second one underneath, and that's where I store just extra masks right now. So this passenger seat is where Kai's going to be sitting with her harness. So we'll go step over there and take a look at what I've done on that side. So again, on this side we got the door pocket, and there are two doors underneath this seat as well. They're not very easily accessible since of what I've done to provide Kai with a seat. So what I've done down here, and it took people a while to figure out how to do this, was to be able to create a full flat platform for Kai to lie on. So as you can see, she's got a full bed here, and underneath we've got a proper dog cover, so it protects the seat from when she's laying on it, just a little bit of added protection there. But if we fold that over here, just perfectly fit, I have it's a dog food container, but it fit perfectly, and this is actually my garbage can. Fits perfectly into this spot, has a lid on it. And then moving over here, I found this at home base, and it collapses completely, so it's easy in and out, which is something I wanted. And I didn't want to be able to have too much faff in there, in having to take something out when I need to use it for passengers. So it easily hooks here. This is just basically to stop it rattling around. Drop that out. So this will be food storage right here. Again, using some of the rubber stuff that stops sliding down around. Another container for food. A little piece of board up there just to support one on top of it. And in here I have a massive 10-litre water gallon jug, which fits absolutely perfectly into this and also helps support the weight of Kai when she's on top of this. So that fits perfectly in there. I may get a second one of these, but I don't think I need it. Alright, so moving around to the living quarters. So welcome to my abode. So let's check this out. I'll show you kind of what I did to help me keep Cody contained at night, but wanted something that was just not as much faff as having to take that dog guard down, put it back up every night with the rain cover or the dog with the seat protector type thing. That was just so much of a pain with having to move seat forward, seats back, take that off, take it on. And yes, I could do it when it was raining out and be completely inside, but it was annoying. Alright, so first off, this shelf kind of sticks out. And this was never an original design proposal, but it became about because I was building the area for Cody. Anyway, so the basic construction of this, we got basic plywood floor under here. This actually does lift up. It has a hinge, so it can lift up. And look at all that space underneath there. So currently I got a chair, a lockbox with some tools, a water bowl. I do keep my tripod back there, but this will be where I keep my leisure battery when I get one. So I pull this over, just a little bit homey with some rugs in there. This right here is dog food, and also will be my laundry hamper. As the dog food goes down, my laundry needs go up. So I guess this is kind of the start of the show. This right here is lattice work, bought from a garden centre. It's attached to this upright with bungees. So at night, what I can do is I just move this out of the way, so I can throw that on the front seat. So it's attached to that. It stays attached to this right here. But over here on this side, there was just one over here. Whichever way it's done up. All the way over. Up top it's braced, just a top brace. Goes all the way back to here, just gives it a little bit of structure. So once this is out, this just gets popped off, and the whole thing just mostly gets lifted out. And I can throw it on the bed for now. I store up front. So it's held in place by two of these. So they're curtain rail holders, and one on the bottom for like would be, you know, in the mid at the end, and this one is like a continuous ring. And this is just a spare rubber mat, stops the laundry basket moving around, but also when I want to put wet shoes or something there. Alright guys, so this is my storage right here. It contains my clothes, my kitchen, my food. So it's not a huge amount of space, but on here I actually have built this table so that I can cook inside. It's one of the biggest things I wanted, is it's not have to cook outside all the time. If it's raining, I still want to be able to cook inside, and I can also use this for watching TV. So I'll put that down. It's actually on a couple of different fold-out locks. So these just collapse. See if I can do it. It's not easy to do this one-handed. That locks down. I'll move the bedding out of the way. And underneath, it's just held in place by just a kind of a drawer roller, snap, hinge, whatever, roller catch, that's what it's called. Alright, so on top of that, also one being a table, this also pulls out with two very, very heavy duty magnets right here, to stop it flying open. So I keep my food right here, some canned food, toilet roll or paper towel, toilet roll, and back here I have an emergency pee funnel. Just in case it's raining, because that's one thing I've hated dealing with, is having to get out and go pee in the middle of the night if it was pouring down with rain, or pissing it down with rain, excuse the pun. This is my drawer for clothes. Again, this is all, for the most part, made from recycled, reused wood. I didn't really go and buy anything new, except a few hardware fittings just to make everything work. So this is my drawer. The front part here is just a leather strap, so it fits. And underneath it is on some furniture slideys, so it just goes in and out. And at the back, again, it's got a couple of magnetic catches to stop it from sliding forward. Under here, again, we got more kitchen stuff. My cook pot, paper towel, or not paper towel, kitchen towel, a few more meals, and my backpacking stove, which I absolutely love, that I would end up using inside with the windows cracked, of course. And those nights, it's really just going to be boil in the bag meals, which is what I'll end up doing. So that's that, and let's move around. So up here is just a basket I picked up from TK Maxx, I think. It just felt like it fit with the overall theme of the interior. Screwed it to the top so it's not going to slide around, and then added a lip to the shelf so I can keep things up here, and again I've got that shelf liner. It means stuff's not sliding around. If you remember from the Fiesta video, I had the power pack underneath the bed. Currently it's back here, and that's pretty much where it's going to stay until I figure out how to fix it. Alright, so the one thing that I didn't have on the Fiesta that I did get after the video was a way of keeping privacy, and what I have are these car shade brands, fitted car shades. They are made specifically for the Touran. They have over 800 different models or different fittings that you can find, so pretty much any car that you have, they'll have a window shade for. I think it's about 70 pounds for a set of 5, so all back windows you can do, or you could just do your side windows. But along with the tint on these windows, you can't really see in even in the dark if you don't have a light on inside. However, on top of these, just for some privacy and for nights when I was out sleeping and I was a place where I had lights going on, people going by, may have been parked up in an overnight service station where I had to pay for it, unfortunately. But I also have these curtains, which are on a string that is attached to the top, go all the way front to the back, and they're double layered to keep out glare. I went with the darkest colour I could find, which unfortunately wasn't black, to just sort of block that out, and you really can't see anything, you know, even if you try to see those curtains through the tint, you really can't see anything. Alright, so should we move around to the back? I'll show you what we've got back here. Alright, so we'll continue working on this block. So here, again, my basket, got paper towels, a wine glass, my headlamp, a couple of notebooks, sketchbooks. It's just kind of easy access storage. Down here below, I've got my single burner camping gas stove. I don't usually use that. When I was with the Fiesta, it was just too much of a pain to store and carry out, but it's a lot easier for bigger meals, and again, just a towel behind it. Here's the back of my drawer. This is a space I am going to utilize. I'm not quite sure what it's for yet, but at some point I am going to utilize it, because no, we don't want to waste space in this thing. And then under here we have 2 more 5-litre Kampa Jerry Cans. These are the same ones that were in my Fiesta, so they're both under there. And right now I've just got some toilet rolls and a measuring jug / my drinking cup when I want like orange squash or something. But the pièce de résistance, which I absolutely love, is my pull-out workstation. So I just fold out, and it is on these runners, just drawer runners, which means that I can now pull out my stove and cook right here. So this is my bed. It is the same foam mattress that I used in the Fiesta. I did add one of my pieces that I used along the sides to bulk it out in the top, to just add that few extra inches. But under the bed right here, so it's a really soft 4-inch foam that I just have wrapped in a sleeping bag for washing purposes, and then I put a sheet over the top of it. And then I had these spare carpets which I put on top of the plywood. So this plywood is the only stuff that I bought, and then I've made this so it does actually lift up. You can access that very tiny spot back there for, say, maybe things that you don't want to access very often. The original idea was to make this as a seat to sit up with, but that didn't happen. So anyway, back here we store I have a couple of towels here, spare dog leashes right there, and my hiking shoes, and room for another set of shoes. I also have my toilet shovel right here. I wanted something that was actually going to be useful, not like a backpacking shovel, but also didn't take up too much space. Currently the shoes are sitting on a plastic bag, but when I finally get around to buying a tarp, that will sit there for my awning. So my underbed doesn't have a whole lot of storage space. I wanted to get my bed up off the same level that Cody was sleeping on, have a little bit of storage under there. However, an important consideration for me was being able to sit up in bed. And so the amount of storage I have underneath is related to that. So I can actually sit up in bed, do some work, read a book, without too many problems. But the little bit of storage space I do have underneath the bed, I did make sure that I did have some. So under this one, I have another way of cooking, because I always want more than one way of being able to set up the stove safely. So from where Cody sleeps right here, if you lift up the covers, I've just got the this bamboo chopping block. So it gives me a chopping board, but also if you flip it over, I now have a very easy, very safe interior space if it's windy to cook with my backpacking stove or my camping gas stove right here. Good flat surface. So that's just, for me, that was kind of an important thing to have. I can use it to sit on my lap and do some drawing. Multiple purpose, accessible from the inside, and it just slips up and under there and basically rides flush. Alright, so shall we move around to the final side of the car, which isn't super exciting. Again, we have another pocket along the door, same on the other side. In that I keep the legs for my chair, which I haven't got set up right now. But I discovered that I have to take the feet of the chair off to be able to fit it under the bed behind the seat. So all the differences down here. Again, I got a little bit under storage. These are my night shoes, so when I have to go out, I go to the bathroom. But they would stay here until I needed them, and then I use them at night. But under here I have my camp table, which is basically a little fold-up table. I'll put up a picture because I'm not going to set it up right this second. It's too much of a pain to pull out right now. But it's basically part of the construction that I've made. I bought the frame. It came with a different top. But I had this piece of wood and I just drilled some holes in it because I thought that looked a lot nicer than a big old piece of metal. And finally underneath here is where I keep my massive camp chair. It's the biggest thing I own that goes with me. But I wanted something that wasn't 50-60 pounds, but also wasn't uncomfortable, and it was like very difficult to find a chair that was within my budget, but that was actually comfortable to sit in. So that's there. It's massive, but it does the job. And so yeah, on this table I can cook outside. It's sturdy enough for that. Alright, so one of the biggest problems that I had with the Fiesta, even in my truck when I was living in the States, was having somewhere to put my clothes at night. And I basically ended up just buying a cargo net. For the top half, it attaches to either the seatbelt mounts at the back or the grab handles on the passenger side, and it's just somewhere I can throw stuff at night, get it out of the way. You could potentially put wet towels, wet clothes up there as well to help dry them out because I can lay flat. But that was such an important consideration. And then I've got this little rod that I just found randomly in my house that, again, could just hang stuff on to dry out. Alright, and then last but not least, over here, again, something I just wanted to have easily accessible was my bathroom bag. So I bought this specifically. I'm not a huge fan of Guess or any designers, but I happen to be walking by and I'm like, that would be perfectly fit there. It'll fit my shampoo, my toothbrush, absolutely everything. Easily accessible by my bed, because that's usually where I take the contacts out in the morning. And then we'll be getting a bowl to use for brushing my teeth at night if I don't want to get outside. So that fit perfectly in there. These blackout blinds right here, again, are the same as these car shades up here. So the black car shades, I just covered it in them in the same fabric that I made out the curtain out of. So they're permanently in there and permanently shaded. And it really does help to keep the interior cool with this. So last little bit is obviously the tailgate. This is really nice. It gives you a little bit of cover, which my Fiesta didn't if it's raining. So I can still sit on the end of the bed to watch the sunset with the car door open. But these things right here help keep the Deflectors in place, which is right here, because unfortunately the Velcro does not want to stay stuck. So those help keep the Deflectors, which again is covered in the same fabric I used for the curtains. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my VW Touran camper. And I haven't really gone out and tested it out yet. I've come out and spent a couple of nights here just in the driveway. But the first test will be to the Lake District. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you got some ideas out of this. Hope you got some inspiration to go convert your Touran or a similar size SUV, because it's not a size of a VW Caddy. It is much smaller, but it fits everything I want it to. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys got something out of it. And as always, guys, thanks for watching and take care.